This episode is brought to you by Peloton. Introducing the new Peloton Cross Training Series, powered by Peloton IQ. Enjoy weekly workout plans tailored to your goals with personalized guidance. With weight suggestions to help you discover new strength and rep tracking so you never lose count. Try the new Cross Training Series, powered by Peloton IQ. Designed for your breakthroughs. Terms apply.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey Craner, and my friend Cecil Baldwin loves horror movies, and he's helping make this genre more approachable for me, and hopefully for you, too. One film at a time, in a random order. You squeamish about horror movies? Don't worry, we will tell you what happens. Adore horror movies? Great! Watch along with us each week. As always, check the show notes for content warnings about this week's episode discussion and film. This week we randomly rolled a 3 for demonic and a 5 for prestige. Here is episode 307.
Top number generation. Podcast number 9.
This week on Random Number Generator, horror podcast number 9, The Prophecy, 1995. Warning! Spoilers ahead.
Hey, y'all remember the Da Vinci Code? Those were good times. I read that book, and it was truly fun. Lots of crazy plot twists, some thrilling puzzles, and a solid noir mystery structure. You stack all of that on top of the 2,000-year-old secrets and lies of the Catholic Church, then, buddy, you are speaking my language. Even going back to Indiana Jones, the first and the third ones anyway, there's this Christian mysticism at work, hidden codes that reveal God's true plan or God's real name, or worse, secret cabals of evildoers. And all of this shit is so much fun, deciphering a codex or trying to translate glyphs on a wall or understanding your father's scribblings in his old notebook. But sometimes there is too much of a good thing. In the 21st century, information is fucking everywhere. We are lousy with data and facts, and with that comes more puzzles to constantly solve. More information actually means less information because it creates more mysteries. And the 21st century is training us to process data, whether we're addicted to match 3 games on our phones or we're trying to solve a modern conspiracy theory. Our brains are working overtime in logic puzzles, and a lot of our energy is wrapped up in solving problems far above our pay grade. But it was really fun. It was a really great throwback to watch The Prophecy this week, which is a transitional point between the praise Jesus of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade and the comic, biblical, cynical violence of Kevin Smith's Dogma. It's clunky, it is hokey, and this cast makes it way more fun than Dan Brown could ever be. Hi, Cecil.
Hi, Jeffrey.
Who is your favorite, just religious figure?
Yikes.
Uh-huh.
Haven't really thought too much about it.
I mean, do you have a Ganesh or
I love a Ganesh. I mean, I love a Buddha, I think, growing up in the Southeast, it was if you weren't Southern Baptist, you weren't nothing.
Yeah.
We had one Catholic church and we had one synagogue. And maybe you knew somebody who went there. Maybe. And then when I kind of expanded my reading a little bit and got to Buddhism, I was oh, okay. Oh, okay, there is some thou shalt nots, but it is a little bit kind of a different flavor of religion. And I kind of respected that. But honestly, I like a Taoist text. I like everything is nothing and nothing is everything. Don't think about it too hard. Your brain might explode.
Mm-hmm. I similarly, growing up in North Texas, it was pretty dominated by American Protestant denominations and non-denominations. And all of that is kind of anti-iconography, even though the cross without Jesus on it is a big icon, and so is the American flag, and so is the little fish bumper stickery thing. But it's, I didn't know a lot of Catholics growing up, or even Hindu people, I suppose. And it wasn't until college that, I had a roommate who grew up culturally Hindu and started learning a lot more about Ganesh. Started learning more about Shiva and Brahma, et cetera, et cetera. And that kind of iconography and Catholic iconography became really, really cool. And I became more attuned with the Virgin Mary as an icon in Catholicism, which is kind of a no-no in Baptist church.
Oh, yeah.
And so, Our Lady of Guadalupe is a really big thing in South Texas and in Austin.
Yes.
And I loved the artwork around her. She was so fucking cool. So, I'll go with Our Lady of Guadalupe. She was a good one. Man, we just mentioned briefly before we started recording about what a throwback this is. I've never seen this movie, but you have.
Yes, but it has been since 1997 since I've seen this movie. I remember, and I know this for a fact because we watched this. This was one of the, movies on rotation in my college friend's house. Because you had to have a VHS if you wanted to watch a movie. It was like this, Dazed and Confused. I think the Stephen King's The Stand, the miniseries, somebody had that on VHS and was like, I don't know, let's just put this on and get stoned, okay? And I know because of Christopher Walken's ridiculous haircut in this movie, whilst stoned one day, a group of friends of mine convinced this other friend that Christopher Walken had no ears. And they're like, yeah, no, you think about it. Can you imagine, have you ever actually seen Christopher Walken's ears in a movie? And they're like, no, I don't think so. They're like, that's because he has no ears.
That's amazing.
This charade went on for a good 5 days. Because before the internet, you couldn't just look that shit up.
No, you couldn't just be like, find me a photo of Christopher Walken.
You had to go to the Blockbuster and look at the backs of videos. And be like, does Christopher Walken have ears?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Are those prosthetics?
What a great prank. I love that as a mild prank. It's really funny. I couldn't help but to think this is a 1995 film, and the carryover casting from Pulp Fiction is really funny to me of Amanda Plummer being the most Amanda Plummer, being amazing for 3 scenes.
That's it.
That's it.
Does she's sort of non-verbal throughout most of it.
She's so funny. She's so good. And then also, of course, Christopher Walken and Eric Stoltz kind of playing his drug dealer character as the Angel Simon in this movie. But he's playing the drug dealer from Pulp Fiction here, too. So I really think that maybe it was Indiana Jones movies that kind of turned us on to
ancient mysteries,
ancient Christian mysteries, all of these things to solve. And I know in the 20th century, kind of the plundering of Egyptian graves and things led us to a lot more Egyptology sort of stuff.
Sure.
But we started really looking deeper into the Christian mysticism as well. And all of the ways in which the little amulet sits atop the staff in Raiders of the Lost Ark and shines a light down to show the location of the Ark. You're like, this is so good. All the way up to Dan Brown writing the most convoluted novel ever in the Da Vinci Code, but it's
with just a touch of art history into it.
Just a touch of art history, but it's so much fun. And I recently took a trip to Rome for vacation, and going into the Vatican museums, I'm like, I can totally understand why, especially in all of this 16th and 17th century paintings, the symbology used is so strong. It's so specific, the symbology you have to use in those paintings as to what you're conveying. The position of the hand, the position of the eyes, the way the body is moving or not moving is really key. The whole thing in the Sistine Chapel about the way Adam's finger doesn't touch God's hand was a real sticking point with Michelangelo, because he wanted their fingers to touch, but they don't, because the church said, no, it's the moment before he gives Adam life. And that is why Adam looks lifeless. And I'm like, and
it's the fact that God is I can't remember, is it God or Adam? I think it's like all Adam has to do is just like extend his finger a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's there.
But it's not there yet. And so there's all these meanings for which we have these days too, about like what visuals mean. It's semiotics, right? And but it was just more specific in the painting, so I can see where like conspiracy brain takes over. And conspiracy brain is a really fun brain to have. But it's really funny how a lot of this stuff has gone from the big screen to chat rooms and message boards and QAnon sort of stuff, because we can change it, we can exchange information, and everything's a puzzle to solve.
The difference is that I don't think people really have the actual knowledge to back it up.
Yep.
Is the problem sometimes. So it's people being like, I feel like this is that. I'm like, do you speak Greek? Are you just going on vibes? I just finished reading the collected stories of M.R. James. That was actually based on the show, because we watched Whistle and I'll Come to You and Sign of the Beast, Mark of the Beast, Day of the Beast. That's it. Which is based on the casting of the runes. And I was like, I'm going to get into this. And what's interesting about reading those stories is that they're about apocryphal mysteries. That was M.R. James' whole thing, is that he loved a dusty old library. It loved that shit. And it was about like how knowledge could kind of unlock dangerous mysteries. Oh, this ancient chapel holds an entombed demon or a lamia or a fucking, I don't know, a mystery, whatever mystery it is. But the difference is in reading those stories is that you're reading stories about these sort of crazy, supernatural mysteries, but people actually had the like spoons to back it up. They're like, oh no, I actually speak like 4 languages, 3 of which are dead.
Yep.
I actually know the actual history of where these texts came from. And so you could kind of riff on it, as opposed to like, I don't know, the Bible said so. Which Bible? As David Cross famously said, the re-edited, the re-edited, that one. No, not that one. The one that was translated, then re-edited and re-edited and given to a king who's like, I like this part. And then they re-edited that one.
The one that's in English, which none of the Bible was written in.
Of course not.
Well, and also the Bible is so funny, too, because it's a collection of books that we've decided on over the centuries, over the millennia, of what should be in there. And then you have a whole set of books that were like, no, those are incorrect.
And those are the ones where all the angels and the demons and the like crazy shit is in. That is kind of fun to think about. But, if you're like some higher up in the church, you're like, okay, we're getting a little too far afield here.
I was sort of surprised that this movie didn't cause more waves. And maybe it's because it just kind of had a middling critical response and probably not a huge box office, that people just left it alone. I remember being at Texas A&M in the late 90s, and the movie Priest was going to be shown through the Film Society.
Oh, that was a big controversy.
And that was a huge controversy. There's so many protests, and we have to remove this film, and yada, yada, yada. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, what that movie actually isn't quite the attack on God that the prophecy is.
Well, that's the problem with that movie, is that it exposed the church. It was more about the hypocrisy and the, kind of the ins and outs of the church and what it allows and what it will turn a blind eye to and what it won't turn a blind eye to sometimes.
Yeah.
But this movie ultimately is pretty A-okay with Jesus. Down with the JC. You got the clouds parting at the end. God comes down and is like, boom, omnipotence. Even though apparently he's just been sitting on his duff for the last 2,000 years waiting for this crazy fucking masochist.
If there was a parallel movie to the prophecy that was just following the life of God, I think he would be played by Michael Caine, but in the way that Michael Caine played Bradley Crane in The Swarm.
Okay.
Or Bradford Crane in The Swarm. In that, like, God seems so ineffectual in this movie.
Just rushing in, being like, I don't know, flood it all.
Yeah, sure.
Flush.
Yeah. What am I supposed to do? My hands are tied. This almost actually feels like a Reagan-era anti-government film. Like, bureaucracy is overbloated and overdone, and there are people in the government that are corrupt and mismanaging your money and all of that. And there are people taking advantage of the system.
Doesn't Simon say, he's like, sometimes you just have to do what you're told?
Yeah.
Eek!
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of interesting moral questions that aren't even having to do with Christ in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's start at the beginning. And we get Eric Stoltz's voiceover talking about he remembered the first war, the way the sky burned, the faces of angels destroyed, and I stood with my brothers and watched Lucifer fall. But we're not standing together anymore, the angels and I. We have come here as mortals to steal a dark soul in this second war of angels.
Damn, that sucks.
And then we get Sadness Part 2 of Gregorian chanting.
Yes, oh my God.
Christian
remember
statues.
when that was hot for a minute?
Yep.
Oh my God, the 90s. This movie really does have everything. Gregorian chants, dusty old tomes. I love, I love a dusty old tome that unlocks a mystery. Children's drawings that are somewhat disturbing, but also move the plot along. Crazy practical effects.
Oh, really good. Yeah, really fun practical effects. So we're at Mass, and we're going to meet Thomas, played by Elias Koteas?
I don't know. Koteas? Sure. Doing it, looking very Bobby De Niro.
We were recording this week after Christmas, and on Christmas Day, I watched that classic Christmas film, David Cronenberg's Crash, which I found a DVD copy of recently at like a thrift store. I'm like, yes, I've finally watched this movie, which I loved. We won't talk about that movie now, but it was fun to kind of like back-to-back see Elias Koteas in a big role.
I forgot he was in that.
He's being ordained as a priest. He's finally got his priest badge, and he is a little weepy. He's got to kiss the floor of the church, and he's having visions of a war between angels.
Angel wings, blood, people screaming. And he can't, and he sort of has a fit.
Yep.
And he doesn't drink the juice.
No. So it's years later, we presume maybe 10 years later. He's got his voiceover saying, some people lose faith because heaven shows them too little, but how many people lose their faith because heaven shows them too much?
Not many.
No, just you, dude.
I would have to think. I would think.
So now he's a cop and he smokes.
Oh my God.
He's turned bad, Cecil, or he's turned gritty. He's not bad. No, he's turned gritty.
Cynical. This movie, I think it has kind of some similar DNA to Lord of Illusions in that it's kind of not a knockoff, but it is of a hard-boiled detective pursues the case into, or also in the mouth of madness to, very 90s kind of like Supernatural meets Private Dick kind of films.
This movie is so noir all the way to its writing. It's got kind of the fast-talking, quippy sort of thing. The cop that shows him the crime scene after the angel battle in Eric Stoltz's apartment, that guy was cracking me up. He was so funny. Just has the best lines in this movie. But,
I mean, Steve Hinter as the wisecracking sidekick forensics doctor. Wild. Love it.
He's going to find Simon, Eric Stoltz, in his apartment one day.
Perched.
Like an angel on a building, like a gargoyle on a building.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Have you ever seen Wings of Desire?
No.
Okay. An amazing film and a very amazing film. And I feel like this movie kind of took maybe some of that DNA. I can't tell you what year it came out, but I'm pretty sure it's before this. But the angels in long coats.
Yes.
Unobserved by humans. Mm-hmm. Straight from Wings of Desire. But for a totally different vibe.
We had a lot of angels on Earth in the 90s, didn't we?
Didn't we?
That's so interesting. 'Cause there's also the Michael, the John Travolta vehicle. Okay.
I mean, Touched by an Angel was on TV.
Yeah. Oh, there was the Meg Ryan, Nick Cage, City of Angels. Yeah. Okay, so Simon is an angel. He is down on Earth in mortal form because they're looking for something. But Simon confronts Thomas about hey, I know what you saw and why you left your faith. And hey, look at this book you wrote, Thomas, about angels and the Bible. Crazy.
What a coincidence.
I love, yes, Thomas, he's like, do you believe you are part of God's plan? Thomas says, that's a complicated question. Simon says, no, it isn't. It's great. Great dialogue.
Yeah.
But now we're going to see other cool angel wearing his Matrix glasses.
Oh my God, yes.
And his long overcoat. Looking cool as shit, and he is going to leap up into Simon's apartment in downtown LA, and they are going to get into a tussle.
I think it's so weird that the angels are sensory driven. They sniff the air.
Yes.
I mean, fucking Christopher Walken decides to put his tongue all over everything. It's so weird to me that was the choice of no, they can smell each other. They can smell death. They can smell other angels.
Uh-huh.
And I love it, but it's so odd to see someone go, there's an angel around here. What do they smell like to each other? Downy?
I think ham.
Ham?
Uh-huh.
You can smell you're I smell bacon.
Honey glazed ham.
Oh, yeah. They're it smells great. Oh, fuck. Oh, I gotta fight this one.
That's my deodorant scent. Honey glazed ham.
Angel ham.
Angel ham. Okay, so one of the things that we'll note in this battle we'll learn his name is Uziel and Simon, is the way Uziel tries to kill Simon right away is by reaching into his chest to tear out his heart.
It's their heart and their eyes are the vulnerable parts of the angel, apparently.
Which I love. This is a thing we're coming off of The Walking Dead. It's nice to have good rules. You have to destroy the brain.
Yeah.
You have to rip out the heart. That is the rule for how you kill our people, our special powered people. But Simon gets the upper hand and manages to toss this motherfucker out a window where he...
Jeffrey.
This was not to bring back the Swarm, but this was Swarm level plot detail, which I love.
He gets hit by a car and kind of smushed against a wall. Jeffrey, who is driving 70 miles an hour in an Oldsmobile down a dead-end alley?
I don't know. Why?
Why are you driving so fast? It's like doing donuts in a parking lot, but in a confined space.
I didn't really have time to laugh during this moment because I was refusing to accept that it was just an absurd plot point to watch somebody get killed in an elaborate way. I kind of thought there was going to be another angel driving that car.
Oh, yeah.
Thought it was
but it does seem a bit of a coincidence.
Yeah, it does.
Get the fuck out of my window. Somebody just happens to be driving 90 miles an hour.
In an alley into a wall.
In an alley. Where are you going? What is happening? Also, who was driving that car? They never found the driver.
No.
Is it mystical? Who can say? Let's start a chat room on Reddit.
All right. So Thomas gets pulled into the scene that next morning. He's a detective with the LAPD. And it's kind of unusual that he's called to this particular scene. He usually works nights, but they're like, oh, you'll see why, because one of the guy who lived in this apartment, listed only as John Smith, had a copy of Thomas's book on angels.
Oh, that's weird.
This is my favorite minor character in this whole movie, is this cop who is just the most dry humored shit talker. And he's like, comes up into leads Thomas up to the apartment. He's like, well, this is, you might find something here that you might define as signs of a struggle. And he opens it up and there's shattered glass and blood everywhere.
Like blood just everywhere. Yeah. I love the I'm too old for this bullshit cop who's like, listen, I just have to do this job for 2 more years, 3 months, and 4 days. And then I'm moving to Arizona.
When this cop shows Thomas, hey, he had this copy of this book about angels, he's like, Thomas, wow, you've been holding out on me. I never knew you could read and write.
I love it.
Aces.
Love it.
He also tells him when he leaves, he's like, don't forget to tip the maids.
Oh, my God.
So good.
Oh, also, by the way, this movie was written and directed by the same guy who did Highlander.
Yes.
Which also shares a lot of the sort of DNA of, like, eternal struggle between these beings that live way too fucking long, and we're kind of coming in at, like, the 11th hour.
Right.
And kind of whippy, snappy dialogue. Trying to, like, which I think is really necessary to, like, the balance of, we're going to be talking some crazy shit in this movie. Angel language, all that. So you kind of need a little bit of that, like, lighthearted levity.
Yeah, this movie does have a lot of fun with the writing. It has a lot of fun back and forth. It's not quite as silly as... I remember Dogma coming out.
It's not zany.
No, it's not zany.
It's cheeky.
Yes.
You know? Like, when Christopher Walken pulls out that trumpet, he's like, here, blow on this. You're like, what?
It's a very old trumpet.
What?
Oh, it's so good.
But don't blow too hard. You might end the world.
One of the pieces of evidence in this place was this newspaper from, I keep wanting to say Castle Rock, but it was Chimney Rock, Arizona. Yes. That this tiny newspaper, but there was an obituary for deceased Korean War veteran Colonel Arnold Hawthorne. That's all we really get at this point.
Yeah.
It's just that, like, this Korean War colonel died.
He's like, and it's been circled in red, just so we know. Which is, that's so nice of him to lead a trail for us.
Guess we're going to Chimney Rock, Arizona.
Well, not just yet.
Uh-huh.
Or at least Detective Thomas doesn't go there just yet. Because he's got to do some forensic. We got to science the fuck out of this angel body.
We do. So we're going to meet Joseph, the coroner, the forensics guy. What's up with this body, Cecil?
Okay, so he doesn't have eyes, but not that his eyes were removed. He just never had eyes. And also, his bones are made out of the same bones. No, his body's made out of the same structurally as a human fetus. So he's like a big fetus. And, you know, apparently when your bones grow, your bones have like little ridges on them as they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And this guy just didn't have that. So that's weird, right?
He also has both sex organs.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
So yeah, he's matching up with some things that might make you think might be an angel of some sort.
They walk among us, Jeffrey.
That's right. The other thing we get that Thomas asks Joseph to give him is found on this guy's belongings was a book. Oh, this is a very old Bible.
Yeah. I love that it's like pocket-sized.
Oh my God, it's so...
pocket-sized illuminated Bible.
It is so, like, it's like if the Gideons did Book of Kells, it was great. And he notices, oh, look, it has the 23rd chapter of the Revelation. There is no 23rd chapter of the Revelation.
There is in heaven. Sure.
Okay, so Chimney Rock, Arizona, great shots to set up. The copper mines are all closed.
Yeah, just literally the miners like scribbled, "We quit."
Yeah.
Everything's boarded up.
A lot of just stores and shops just aren't even open. It is a down and out town, and we're going to see the big old school down there, and it is just, it's like choir night. Like, Catherine, Virginia Madsen, is basically the one teacher at this school. There's maybe 15 kids left. K through 12 that she has to teach in a single classroom of this giant 2-story old building. But she's having them sing Ave Maria. Like every kid in the school is in the choir.
Great.
Now, a question, is this performance of Ave Maria is this just a recital happening in parallel to the funeral for Colonel Hawthorne?
I don't think it's related to the funeral at all.
Okay.
I think this is like just the kids are having a choir night.
And we wanted some religious stuff to happen.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, listen, I was in chorus in high school, and you sang madrigals, you sang all sorts of stuff.
Well, and the filmmaker wanted
something with religious
music while Simon goes to Hawthorne's casket, gives him a big old CPR kiss, and sucks out his soul.
Yeah. They're like, just suck it right out.
See, when I was like younger, I was more into like, ooh, can you give me a hickey, but do it like low here? Yeah. But I had not thought about, could we suck each other's souls out?
It's like the suck and blow party game, where you take a card and you have to like, and pass it around. But it's like that, but with a soul. It's like this movie is essentially going to be a soul shell game.
Simon then basically crawls up into the second floor of the school. It took me a second to figure out what was happening where he was, but we'll learn that this is because everyone has left town. There's so few people left that they really just use this one classroom on the bottom floor, and everything else upstairs is basically just a warehouse at this school now. All right, now let's talk about Christopher Walken as the Archangel Gabriel.
Christopher Walken, like what? What is this movie? Unhinged.
He's got his like proto Anton Chigurh haircut.
Oh my god.
Covering
his
his
like
ears.
Pale as fuck. Yeah, covered. He has no ears.
He has no ears.
I love the sort of the like flapping of the wings in shadow, and then you just sort of see Christopher Walken, like the trench coat closes and you see the actor. Like sometimes we don't need to see every tiny, there's like, there is definitely some CGI in this movie, and it is early CGI, but like, honestly, it's really artistic in how it uses the camera and light and shadow to give you the sense of the supernatural without being like, I don't know. And then he like a bird turns into a person and then there's a lot of goop and like, no, we don't need all that. We get it. An angel comes to earth and it's Christopher Walken. And then he perches. We're like, okay, so we have this kind of like recurring bird motif for these angels. And he just chills for like 12 hours on a stop sign or whatever. And then he goes, so now we have like the crime scene, the cops at the crime scene, and now we have the sort of evil angel bounty hunter at the crime scene.
Yes. Licking up the blood and being like,
just lick it, just like unhinged.
It was Simon. Blah.
Now I know who I'm hunting. But first, I need a minion.
Well, he's going to get a minion in in Jerry.
Oh, Jerry. Like, this is where, like, I think the 90s were, like, kind of crazy and a little unhinged, and I love it. This music choice for the introduction of Jerry is so wild because it's images of a noose, of, like, Hustler magazine covered in baked beans. It is very, like, slovenly bachelor kind of druggy, like kind of drug den coded. But this music is so fucking bouncy and twangy and like comedic country western.
Well, and it's like a kid's show, like, I'm a bear and I want to be your best friend too. Like, it's a little Barney coded as well.
It's like the introduction to Howdy Doody.
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, like, what we're getting out of this character is he's a zombie.
Yeah.
Like, Gabriel went in, found this dude who was going to kill himself because clearly he lives like a slob. And Gabriel's like, nope, you're going to be my little minion. for as long as I need you. And like the entire time, Jerry, it's very much like my drug dealer told me I have to do this thing for him.
Yeah.
But in Jerry's case, he's like, please just let me die. Please.
Yes, online shopping is quite literally at our fingertips, but that doesn't mean it's always simple to buy. Whether it's trying to remember one of a million different logins so you can actually place your order, or getting almost all the way through checkout before realizing your card is nowhere near you, there are many hiccups that can get between you and placing that order. Which is why it's such a relief when you see that purple pay button that has all of your information saved, making checkout as simple as a tap of your screen. That iconic purple Shop Pay button is why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet, meaning less carts going abandoned and more sales going to you. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Thrive Cosmetics, Gymshark, and Allbirds, to brands just getting started. And they're not just great at converting sales. If people haven't heard about your brand yet, Shopify can help you find your customers with easy-to-run email and social media campaigns. And they have world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. Tackle all of those important tasks from one place, making your life easier and your business operations smoother. See less carts go abandoned and more sales go with Shopify and their Shop Pay button. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/realm. Go to shopify.com/realm. That's shopify.com/realm.
Hey, do you want more Random Number Generator Horror Podcast number 9? Well, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/randomhorror9. You can join for free and take part in discussion threads for each and every movie. And for $5 a month, you can join us on monthly live stream episodes where you get to help us pick the film. And not to mention, you get ad-free regular episodes too. So consider becoming part of the Random Horror 9 community. There are so many great discussions both in the live streams and on the discussion threads. So check it out at patreon.com/randomhorror9. Do it for $0 or do it for $5 if you like. You know, whatever floats your boat. Boo. Yeah, so Gabriel's power, we'll see this twice with two amazing character actors, and here Adam Goldberg and later Amanda Plummer. But Gabriel's power is at the moment of death, he can snap people back into a zombie kind of life wherein they kind of just have to do what he says.
Yeah.
They're just his
puppet master
servant. And you get the sense that it's kind of a bureaucratic nightmare to have to go do this because he's got to do this side quest to find a person.
It, like, all the time.
And he can't just like grab a person off the street. It has to be a person who is at the moment of death. He has to snatch their bodies and control their soul for that brief moment. So I love that Jerry is immediately like, oh, God, Gabriel, just leave me alone. I'm so fucking tired. He's like, yeah, I need you. I need you at the police morgue. You're going to have to, like, walk in and get these files.
Yeah.
He's like, how do I do
all
that?
The things.
Well,
you'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. The shift ends at this time. Just slip in. Act like you know where you're going, and no one will stop you, which is so true.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many times I've been wearing some type of badge or all-access pass or something, but I have it in my pocket. I'm not wearing it on me, and I just walk with confidence.
Walk in. Yep.
And people are just, nobody pays any attention whatsoever.
I'm here. I'm here to see. I'm here to see Thomas.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to Air Force headquarters. Go right on in, sir.
Yes, absolutely.
The Swarm is my new touchstone for all plot-related things. Yeah.
Go through the Swarm.
That's what they're going to go do. They're going to go find the body of Uziel, and they're going to get any and all evidence related to him. So they're going to, find, really most importantly, they're going to find that news article about Colonel Hawthorne.
Yeah. Thank God they circled it in red pen so everybody could follow the trail.
He's also going to basically take Uziel's body out of the
the freezer.
the cabinet freezer thing.
Yeah.
Lay it on the ground, arms splayed like a crucifixion. Mm-hmm. Douse him with gasoline or whatever.
Well, it's like, I think
Holy water? What?
I think he's anointing him. I think Gabriel's power, he can set fire to stuff because, end of the world, lake of fire, all that. I think the ointment is unrelated to that.
Oh.
I think he's giving his fallen comrade like sort of a, go ye into the dark.
I see.
As a doing him a solid with this holy, heaven juice.
Yes.
And then he separately sets him on fire to destroy evidence.
That makes so much more sense.
Because he set somebody else on fire later, and it's like it is unrelated to the holy ointment.
Thomas and his corner buddy Joseph, they're going to learn that this body was set fire to and all of the evidence was taken. Yeah. Oh, I do like that one of Gabriel's other powers is just to look at somebody and go, shh, and then they collapse.
I love it.
Which is how he gets past security.
Yes.
When we talk about what superpower do you wish you had, that's a good one.
Sleep time. Sleepy sleep.
I wouldn't even use it for breaking into things. I would just use it at like parties when somebody is boring me. Just shh.
And like shh. Boom. Shh. And then I love it that like not only do we get that visually, but also we kind of get the snappy dialogue later when he's like, "Hey, do you know how you got that little dent on your upper lip? Because before you were born, before you were even conceived of, I came through and put my finger there. So shut the fuck up."
Well, we're also going to learn that Bible that they found on Uziel is carbon dated to the 2nd century.
Oh, fun. That was a fun time in Christianity.
Yeah. 2nd century was going great.
There was a lot, listen, Christians were doing just trying to survive out there.
Uh-huh. But we're at work on translating this. Is it Latin that he's translating, Thomas?
Jeffrey, is it? Is it? Huh?
Seems like the Latin
like
translations of the Bible weren't until much later.
2nd century? I mean, I'm no expert. And I should have done research for this podcast, which I did not do.
No.
But I was like, had it gotten to Latin by 2nd century?
I don't think so. It
Please,
feels...
somebody who has a religious studies major, step on in. Let us know. I don't want to make... But I was like, wouldn't it still be in Greek?
I was going to say, if we were at trivia night, and we're like, what language was a 2nd century book written in for the Bible? I would have guessed either Greek or... I feel like Aramaic comes up, but I think maybe that was just Jesus's language. But Greek, I think, is a pretty solid one. I don't know about Latin yet. But even Greek, that's a little bit weird. I don't know if the Greeks had been fully taken in yet by this whole
200 years?
thing. Yeah.
200 years after Jesus?
Yeah.
Were we fully who knows? Anyway.
Who even knows?
Join
All
the
we
chat.
know is this LAPD cop.
He's like, my Latin's a little rusty. But look, here I have this translation that's like, there was a second war in heaven and the angels were pissed off that the humans were getting all of God's attention. And there was a soul. This is so weird. This is really weird to me. The sort of the masochist soul, the evil soul. The idea that there's a human soul that is so dark, so vile, it attracts kind of like a magnet. It attracts evilness to it. And it is in the form of a warrior. Oh, okay, that's very specific. How long has this thing been around? Has it just jumped body to body to body to body for, if Gabriel is correct, this thing has been floating around for 1,800 years?
Yeah.
And and according to Gabriel, it's kind of caused a bit of a backlog in people going to heaven.
Yes. Lucifer at the end of this movie straight up says that, as in actually, since the war with the angels, over almost
Lucifer,
almost like like since Jesus, basically.
Yeah.
No one has gotten into heaven because they can't, red tape wise, I actually can't sell you this ticket because our database is down.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been down for 1,800 years.
I know you have the ticket. I know we sold you the ticket, but we can't honor the ticket.
We can't. It won't scan when you get to the thing.
So we're just going to put you in purgatory, I guess. We're going to put you in this holding pen. Here, if you just wait in this waiting room here.
Yeah.
That's some wild information.
It is really strange. I mean, it's like a lot of components of this movie wherein you just can't think too hard on it.
Yeah.
But this movie does such a great job of having great dialogue, great actors, like stuff that fills the screen that you're just like, I love this. This is so much fun.
It's very cinematic, this movie. Like, I remember, like, we watch a lot. Horror movies tend to be oftentimes independent, or they kind of get the Hollywood B-level treatment. Mm-hmm. This movie is like cinematic in its scope, in how they use the camera. Like, it's really gorgeously shot. But just don't think too close about some of the details here.
This plot requires so much more research and knowledge that I think is singularly possible for even the best screenwriter in the world, because it's so much happening. It's like Dan Brown, right? Like, you just make up the lore and just keep building on top of it, and it won't really hold up to academic study.
Well, like when, like at the literally like minute marker 5, when Detective Thomas is, we've learned he's become a cop. He's like, the passage that keeps going over in my head is there were strange angels and they had strange weapons. I don't think that's a Bible verse.
No,
I think they just made that up.
I did a look for that, and I was having a hard time finding anything that.
But again, I don't
weapons.
have the M.R. James actual biblical studies enough to be like, nope, that's not a thing.
No.
And what makes me crazy is that the 90s kind of was a time of like, I don't know, I saw it in a movie, must be true.
Yeah.
Or sort of the last gasp of that before we had all of the internet at our fingertips.
Before I saw a TikTok about it, so it must be true.
Yep. That was kind of the I could look it up, but I'm not going to go through with that.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, somebody made a TikTok and I could fact check this or look at who that person is that made that TikTok. But I don't know.
Look at how polished this. Oh, and they have tens of thousands of followers.
It sounds right to me.
Seems right. God, they said it with such authority. Totally.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess the angels are having a second war up in heaven.
Yeah.
Damn, that sucks.
Well, back in Chimney Rock, Arizona, Catherine, our teacher, has a particular student, 10-year-old?
Yeah.
Let's go with
sure.
10, 11, 12, somewhere around there.
No, she's not. She's not middle school. She's definitely elementary school age.
So let's say 10-year-old named Mary. Mary is playing hide and seek with the kids one day upstairs in the warehouse portion of this school, and she comes across Simon.
Yes.
Remember how I've said before on the show that red flags weren't invented until the 1990s?
Yeah.
We were still working through some things here, but this
you
feels...
mean this Weinstein production is going to give you pause, Jeffrey?
Oh my God, it's...
You mean when Eric Stoltz gives the kiss of life/death to a 10-year-old girl? Did that not give you the ick at all?
Yeah, that gave me total ick. But also just, there's something about one of the things that I remember reading about, this was like in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, when Sesame Street put out DVD collections of old seasons of Sesame Street. Okay. But the first couple seasons came with a parental warning, and a bunch of people who didn't read further into it were like, oh my God, we were fine as kids when we watched this in the 60s and 70s. But when you do a deeper read as to why, the New York Times did a story about why there were parental warnings on these first seasons of Sesame Street. Like in the very first episode, of Sesame Street, there's a little girl walking through the city in the evening. She's a puppet, but she's a little girl. And there's just like some guy sitting out on his porch. He's like, hey, what's your name? And it's like an adult human man. She's like, I'm Jenny or whatever. He's like, hey, you by yourself? You should come on in and have dinner. And so she comes in and has dinner. And it's at the time was like about community, about the idea that we feed each other.
The people that live on your block are your community.
Who are the people in your neighborhood, in your neighborhood. And
then we went, and the 80s came, we're like, stranger danger.
Yeah, because then we start having cases like Eaton Potts in New York City that you're like, oh shit, we need to train our kids. This movie in 1995 feels too far along to ignore so blatantly the component of stranger danger that if you were a kid in the 1990s, everyone was questioning razor blades and apples to don't get in a car, don't get into a house with anyone you do not know.
Strangers
deeply.
with candy.
Yeah, strangers with candy. And that's what this dude is.
Now, conversely, I think what this movie has to do is to set up the sort of, is it Great Expectations? The one of like, you're a child and you meet a stranger who is in need.
Yes.
As kind of a foundation of Christian charity. And the fact that this, little girl is like, hey, buddy. What you doing? He's like, God, I really wish you wouldn't tell anybody I was here. Okay. Do you want some food? Grandma's making lasagna. I'm gonna go get you a juice box. Like that is a long staying kind of thing of like a person in need is someone that needs your help.
As the movie goes on, it starts to become more clear as to like the relationship to, say, a homeless person in this town.
Yes.
Because Catherine sort of explains,
which I think is important as well,
that it was pretty common to find people just sleeping in that school because the mine's all closed. It's a depressed town. It's hard. And so nothing ever came from it. This is the first time that like some crazy shit happened. I do wonder if Eric Stoltz casting when we have the fight sequence when he's perched in Thomas's home is ace casting because he's so cool
and he's got those cheekbones. He looks angelic
and that long red hair. Everything about him is ace. But this moment, he's a little too knowing. He's a little too spry, and I wonder if it was a failure of casting, but maybe it's more about costume and makeup here as to like to really show him looking unhoused and wino, like because they kind of describe him as a wino later, but to make him look like somebody who truly needs help. But he does look like a predator in this scene because he's very full of energy.
Yeah.
The only thing that suggests he's out of energy is he's laying back, but I'm like, he does a thing where he like kind of covers his chest. So we infer that Uziel kind of dinged him real, like he's on his last. He might be not. He's a dying angel, but he's trying to cover up his whatever gross black blood angel heart that he's carrying underneath his thing. Yeah, it's interesting. Anyways, that's a sidebar, but it really threw me off.
It is weird. No, like in our 2025, I'm like, this is giving me the weirds. It's weirding me out. But I understand why it's happening plot-wise. Because he has to be charming enough, and especially when like Virginia Madsen comes in the second time and she kind of catches Mary and they're drinking like a Coke with two straws and like sharing a sandwich and he's sitting on her lap. I'm like, no. And then add insult to injury. Sorry, to add insult to injury when Virginia Madsen calls the cops and she's like, yeah, there's a drifter in the school. Could you come? He's like, yeah, I'll get to it like tonight or tomorrow. It's like, no. Before the children come back to school, you should probably do a sweep. Like, just, we've got kids here.
This ties into one other thought that I had related to Colonel Hawthorne, which is I think this movie so badly wanted this to be Hitler. Oh. Meaning, like, when you talk about a dark fucking soul, right? When you talk about a truly dark soul. And in fact, he doesn't have Hitler mustache. Hawthorne doesn't, but he has mustache, and it is well cropped. And the way he talks about white supremacy, the way he talks about the kind of almost justifying a genocide of Chinese people in the Korean War. He's got
the wide-eyed stare, like the man who has seen too much and hasn't come back.
Yeah, or the man who just at his soul, he is just born into blackness. And I did wonder if it kind of throws this movie for another loop if you're like, oh, this is the death of Hitler, because it doesn't work, because you need this man to come back in an anonymous way. Like, people aren't really paying attention. But
I love that.
I do too. I love that no one is like, hey, nobody in this town has secrets. I'm like, they don't.
No, because and Virginia Madsen's like, no, of course everybody went to his funeral. Like, everybody knows everybody here. I mean, he was kind of a dick, but and he didn't know the kids, so that's not a thing. But then when you dive into his past, you're like, oh, this man committed war crimes, and he just in, I guess, the Korean War, I'm assuming, and then just sort of faded into the background, which I think is even more astute and kind of interesting than he's Hitler, he's a moose, it's an evil that exists, that the government knows exists, and that is a terrible thing that we have just sort of collectively swept under the rug and just been like, you're being put out to pasture, and now this evil is in our community somewhere in America, probably just sitting and festering, and probably won't come up again. But maybe it will.
Yeah. And so I tied the reason I brought that up in the case of the scene in the school is that this scene makes more sense if it takes place in an earlier time in America.
Yeah.
It almost, because of the mine closings, it almost feels like Depression era as well.
Yeah,
like, there's something about it's sort of, this movie is kind of out of place in time, and I think having it set in contemporary, 1995, but it's contemporary for when this comes out, just feels slightly off to me. Anyways, I keep dwelling on that, but it was like the only part of the movie that I was like, I fell off the bike and I'm a little bruised and I don't want to get back on, but here we go.
Okay.
But yeah, Mary is like obviously concerned about this homeless man living in the upstairs of this school. It's happened before, and it's generally harmless. It's just like, I just can't be dealing with this shit every fucking time. But one thing Simon tells Mary is like, hey, I've got something I'd like to give to you. It's something very special. Can you keep the biggest secret ever?
Hey, come here. Come here, little girl.
Close your eyes.
Uh-huh.
And then he
open your mouth.
This is just such like edgelord visualness. I know what they're going for is the shock value of an adult man laying lips on this girl. I mean, it's like CPR lips, but he's still like, it's gross. And who is it?
And then the next shot is her like coughing and vomiting and like sick.
Uh-huh.
And Catherine is like, "Are you okay? I left you alone in there with that man."
Uh-huh.
And she's like, "I'm sick. I need to go home." You're like,
I just do not like that at all. I hated it. I hated how coded it was for child abuse, child sexual abuse. It was super, super gross. But Catherine takes Mary, who is sick now, back to her grandma's house out in the desert. She lives in a trailer out in the desert. Her grandmother, Emma, I believe is her grandmother's name. But they never say the tribe, but I think Navajo, based off of when she mentions a hand trembler.
Okay.
In looking that up, cursory glance again suggested this is a Navajo tradition, and that sort of vibes with Arizona, anyways. But she is Native American. All right, Gabriel finds Simon at the school And he's like, you don't happen to have that soul on you by chance of Colonel Hawthorne, because Gabriel went and had Jerry dig up his grave only to find that the soul was gone. He's going to torture Simon with fire until Simon gives up the information, but Simon never does.
I love this dialogue between the two of them. Mm-hmm. And it's like excellently acted in that it's like, super spies that have kind of been chasing each other for years, for decades, for centuries even, and have now kind of like, they're really trying to pull out all the stops. And I think the reason I love it is that they each try different tactics. Mm-hmm. You know, like Christopher Walken really tries, like the easy choice would be like, you son of a bitch, I finally caught you. But he's like, do you remember when we stood next to each other? Weren't those the glory days? Don't you want to come on? Like it's really, the acting is fucking excellent in this.
Yeah, he's
and
like,
then Simon is like, you just need to shut up and do what you're told sometimes.
Yeah.
Sucker.
Yeah, it's not on us. It is like soldier mentality. Is that like, it's not on us to decide right and wrong, Gabe. Yeah. It's on us we are like soldier in God's army.
We were given a directive from the GOD, and we got to do it. And if you have different ideas, that's on you, man. Mm-hmm. Like we were here for a purpose.
Yeah.
In theory.
I'm so confused as to like, hey God, what is it you say you do around here? Yeah. This is where I start questioning, like, what is God doing? Like, I just kind of want to know, like, is he sick? Is he dead? Did he go out for cigarettes and never come back? Like, what happened?
I mean, that's the 20th century. That's the $200,000 question, right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey there, God of Abraham. What you doing these days?
Yeah.
Are you just chilling? Like, look, atrocity. Look, we've gotten really bad down here. Is that part? Is that you're cool with all this?
Well, I would also say that one religious figure that is really missing in this movie, I mean, his presence is there, but he's missing, is Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus really doesn't come up in this film at all.
No.
And so this is very much like Old Testament God filtered through Catholic, apocrypha, right?
Spirituality. Yeah.
Like
when they start being like, this Jewish Kabbalist writing, this is angel script, and they're like,
angel script?
Sure.
I took 2 semesters of that in college. Angel script.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you kind of rusty? But you can etch out these cave paintings that we've got here.
Hard to find people to be able to communicate with. Like I can read it, but I can't really speak it.
The dialect is hard to pick up.
Yeah, when you go to Angel City, you're just like, I have no idea what these people are saying.
You talk like a 2-year-old. You're like, you can point and you can go to the grocery store and order angel food cake.
Yeah, yes. They usually just smile politely and then they speak to me in English.
Yes.
This is where Simon gets just fully burnt up. He gets his heart ripped out and then his body put into flames because he did not succumb to the torture. He did not give up the information. So next day at school, those cops finally showed up to deal with the homeless man.
Jesus. They're like, and we just found this charred body.
Okay. Catherine is super pleased with all of this. This is great. Yeah. I love that they still have school that day, which cracks me up. I'm like, I would probably send them kids home till we get this crime scene cleaned up.
It's a crime scene now. Your elementary school is a crime scene. But she's like, no, come on, here, we're going to play kickball. Here, Detective Thomas, this person I've just met, who I'm going to have a somewhat romantic coded relationship with for the rest of the movie because there are 2 hot protagonists. Mm-hmm. Hey, carry these balls for me.
Emma has brought in a hand trembler for Mary, which is A ceremony that looks for the bad spirits, basically.
Yeah.
Like
Because
where
they
the
took her
bad
to a
things are in the
doctor, and
body.
like Western medicine
Failing.
didn't find shit.
Nope.
So they're like, nope, this is a spiritual affliction.
We also find that Mary has been drawing a lot of stick figures in war.
Jeffrey, you know I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God we have these child's drawings that are completely easily readable and feed into the plot point that we know we must. That's also somewhat disturbing that no one comments about.
In retrospect, this cracks me up because what we learn later is that because Colonel Hawthorne's evil soul, this genocidal maniac, his soul is in her body, so they're sharing this body. So there's going to be a moment later where she starts talking like he does. Like in a very racist way about the murdering of all of these Chinese soldiers and how they don't bleed like we bleed and blah, blah, blah. And she's going to start talking war strategy even when they go up to Old Widow Hill or whatever it's called. And they talking about how fortified that hill is and it would be a great place for like a final battle stand.
Oh,
but,
cool.
So that suggests that he is partially lucid within her body. So when he sits down to draw war scenes, this celebrated colonel of the U.S. Army draws in stick figures.
Yes. I don't know. I wonder if it's more like the girl, Mary, is like seeing these memories and doesn't understand what she's like, it's like a waking dream for her.
Yes.
But it is kind of funny. They're like, no, General so-and-so is like, oh, let me just do some art therapy here to get out my aggression.
That's what I thought it was.
I just wonder, like, what happened before him? Has he always been like this? Was he always destined to be the soul that, is like the loophole that we've all been waiting for?
Well, it goes back to your question about like how long is this a singular dark soul that is jumping from body to body for thousands of years?
I don't think it is. I think it's like God made us. He's like, okay, I'm going to try out this new thing. I'm going to try out this dark matter collective soul that's so bad. It's not. I'm doing it. This isn't Lucifer. I'm going to do this.
Oh, collective soul. I should add that to our band names list. That's a good term.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that would be a good band name.
Yeah. But I'm not going to make it just yet. I think I'm going to wait like 1,500 years. 1,600 years or so.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to like put that shit into play. In the meantime, nobody gets in heaven.
He's just like the most foul bureaucrat.
Nope, not Joan of Arc, not Mother Teresa. Nobody's getting into heaven until I like hit go on this project that I'm going to do later.
Yeah.
Because I think it would be interesting if it was like there has always been this sort of soul that's jumping bodies for 2,000 years, and the angels just haven't been able. It's like espionage, like that to me seems more rather than like, no, this dude was born in like 1920 something.
Yeah.
And he just sucked.
I get the sense, from what I understand from this movie, is that Gabriel, and so like the two sides that we will learn basically of the angel war are the people, the loyalists like Simon, who are just like, listen, God has a plan. We're part of his army. We do what the fuck we're told. It's heaven, man. Let's be excited. And then you have people like Gabriel, who are not quite as power hungry as Lucifer, that they want to usurp God and take his position or sit alongside him. But they certainly are mad that God created humans and said, these are my special people because I created them in my image. And Gabriel is like, that's some bullshit.
I used to be special.
Yes. So I want to destroy.
And now I feel less special.
Yeah. He's a spoiled child and he wants to destroy humans. And so what he's doing is saying, well, there was just a human who was like many other humans before, like a Hitler or a Milosevic or whoever that is so vile and so capable of Idi Amin, right? Like so capable of genocide and such a master tactician that if I could take that soul out of a human body and put it into an angel and give it to an angel.
I see.
I
get it. Okay.
It's almost like I could one up them because he's just like, it's kind of like, man, if we could just do a trade to get Luka Doncic on our team, if Victor Wembanyama played for us, I think we would win the title.
It would knock us into winning strategy range.
Yeah. We got to get this special player on our team, and that gives us. I think that's all it is. I think that's all the movie is suggesting about this soul, that he's not special in the course of history, but he's probably the best player available in the draft.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
Thomas has made his way out to Chimney Rock, Castle Rock West. Yes. And he is, by the way, I love this and also kind of found it funny, is that it is sunset like 4 times a day in Chimney Rock, Arizona.
It is always magic hour.
It's beautiful. The golden hours there are constant.
Yeah.
But yeah, Thomas is trying to figure out, hey, so was some of your kids talking to this guy? This fella? And she's like...
Yeah, Mary was.
Yeah. Well, but she's homesick with her grandmother. Her parents are dead. I really should check with them before.
I need to talk to her.
Yeah.
Because I'm a cop. I got to do my cop shit.
So, also, this is where Thomas goes to the library and learns about all of Hawthorne's war crimes. We get a whole newsreel of bloody bodies and ditches.
Thank God he kept that newsreel his entire life.
And this briefcase.
Oh my God. Ooh. Because this shit's rough.
This
is rough. So it's like he's watching this newsreel of the colonel sort of being arrested and then tried for war crimes. And he's got this briefcase with him when they arrested him. And he's looking real wide-eyed and crazy. And Detective Thomas is like, oh, there's that briefcase. Let's see what's in here.
It's not what I was expecting to be in there. That's what I'll tell you.
It is not.
What did he have in the briefcase, Cecil? Was it just some papers? Was it just...
It was his journals of the warriors. He wrote some poetry in order to work through his aggression.
We underrate how important journaling is.
It's real important. Like, you got to do those morning pages, you know, if you really want to get to what you're after.
Yeah.
But while you're writing those morning pages, if you could wear the face of your enemies, it might give you the little boost. Just a little juice.
He is collecting human faces like they're fucking Pokemon. Like
leathered.
Like, does he play Magic the Gathering, but with human faces with other people? Like, I'm just like, what? He's got a whole stack of them.
It's very like Ed Gein.
Yeah.
Gein, like, oh, I'm gonna wear the faces of my enemies, but like Leatherface.
When he first opened it, it took me a second to process what I was looking at, and I was like, is that a roast turkey in there? What's happening?
Well, and then the wild thing is that, like, he just kept this.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you there who's strewn body parts everywhere and destroyed this entire village and took part in cannibalism and human sacrifice. You got everything?
Yeah.
You want to take that home? Cool. Just take that on the airplane back to the States.
So during this break, let me tell you about another movie podcast I like. This is not a paid ad. I legit just want to tell you that What Went Wrong is a great show about how hard it is to make films in Hollywood. Hosts Chris and Lizzie have covered some excellent horror films that we've talked about here on Random Horror 9, like The Exorcist, The Conjuring, The Birds, and maybe my favorite episode of theirs is John Carpenter's The Thing. They also cover plenty of movies that aren't horror at all. I just think their show is so smart, it's well-researched, and I learn a ton about movie making every time I listen. I hope you enjoy it too, so go get What Went Wrong wherever you get your podcasts. Hey, also, while we're in break, I just wanted to tell you about a podcast I like. No one told me to promote this. I'm not paid for this. I just thought you, the random Horror 9 listener, would like this show. And that show is We Que Horror. You may already know the hosts, Johnny and Eileen, because they've been on our show as guests a few times. Anyway, their podcast focuses on Latin American horror films. And just like with Random Horror 9, We Que Horror really covers some bangers like La Llorona, Good Manners, When Evil Lurks, and Kronos. But also like our show, some of their best episodes cover films, good or bad, that you might be less familiar with, and they're all interesting episodes. Plus, those two are so much fun to listen to. So go subscribe to Uy Que Horror, that's UYQUE, horror, wherever you get your podcasts. So we do learn that Emma and family have a plan to go up to this mountain. I forget. It's like Old Widow Hill or something like that. I forget the exact name of it. But they're going to have like basically an exorcism ceremony.
Yeah, it's like
with
on the reservation,
the
exorcism.
whole tribe,
like,
everybody.
The hand trumper's like, this shit's real bad.
Yeah.
Like we got to get everybody together for this.
Yeah. Because she is now like talking about battles in Chosin and just going into graphic detail and all of that sort of thing. Catherine and Thomas, she's like, hey, what's happening? Who are these people? I met this Gabriel guy at the school who's
talking to the kids.
And all of that. And when he was talking with the kids, one of the little girls is like, yeah, Mary talked to that guy upstairs all the time.
Oh, man.
I love the wording as he has little Sandra on his lap, and he was like, "Hey, Sandra, that's such a nice name. Did any of you ever talk to the man upstairs?" Which I think is a really funny phrasing.
Oh,
talking
shit,
to the man
I didn't even
upstairs.
catch that.
Yeah, it's really good.
I love that.
Catherine is like, "Hey, so I saw Gabriel and that other dude's car parked by this old mine shaft earlier.
Yes.
Let's go check that out."
What were they doing in there, Jeffrey?
It's a weird plot point. I don't... It feels like they laid a honey trap or something to give them an exposition trap.
Yeah. But it's like, okay, so Gabriel and Jerry, because Jerry's still kicking at this point, go into this, and he has to maybe Gabriel has to journal for a bit. He's like, but I got to get this shit out of me.
Here's what I think it is. I think he deliberately showed the car by the mine shaft, knowing that they would go check it out.
To kind of lure them over there.
So he
that
could
way
then
he
go
can
get Mary.
But there's like cave drawings on the walls, on the ceiling. And
I'm
then
sorry,
when Detective...
it's angelic script on the walls.
Yes. He's journaling. He's doing his journals. He's doing his beat poetry. Uh-huh. And this, I love this because it's a way that's taking this very ridiculous, like, look at these symbols. What do they mean? I don't fucking know. But look, if you touch one, premonition.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell, was this angel on the spike, was that Simon?
No,
like an earlier
I think it
version of Simon, or just an angel?
I think it's just an angel. Okay. And it basically activates...
And then it opens to, like, fields of angels, the battle...
Yeah, it's just a battle full of angels on pikes.
Yeah.
Which has taken a while.
Sure. Who has the time?
Yeah.
But it's like we need to get Catherine and Thomas caught up on the stakes. You know?
Yep.
Because they know something's up with Mary, and they know it's weird, but we need our protagonist to be like, oh, I'm in a horror movie.
Yes. We also need a way for Catherine to experience what Thomas has experienced. Because it's a huge leap to have this cop you just met a day before being like, hey, do you read the Bible? Oh, when I was a kid, maybe.
Well, it's coming to life.
Yeah, this is all real. And so...
And it's not your grandma's Bible.
That's going to be harder to convince. That's going to be real tough to convince the audience. Yeah. And so they need her to have the same vision as him and be like, okay, we're now on the same page. And they go back to Mary's, but oh shit, Jerry and Gabriel are there.
Angel fight.
Angel fight.
Which is kind of crazy because isn't Gabriel in like mortal form? He's an archangel. So essentially you can just shoot the fuck out of him and he don't care.
He does. Yeah, and I think they suffer damage. Like it might be like Wolfman territory where like maybe they're fast healers.
Yes. Which is why, so there's a fight inside the trailer. Love a trailer fight. Uh-huh. Like love a closed quarters kind of tussle.
Yeah. Well, he shoots
process,
Jerry.
He does kind of. Jerry gets shot.
Thomas shoots the shit out of Jerry, and Jerry's like, "Thanks, bro. Owe you one later."
And he gets a bullet in the forehead. Which, hey, he's a zombie.
Yeah. Great.
So no more Jerry. R.I.P. But Gabriel's like pretty resilient.
I gotta tear that little girl to shreds. I gotta get that soul out of her.
I love this. Like, you think I'm not going to attack? Like, I killed all the firstborn son of Eve. I've been doing this so long. I've been the angel of vengeance for so long.
It kind of like hints at this. It's evil in the context of us as humanists, as humans, to be like, oh, here's this external supernatural force here to not give a shit about the human race. That's horrifying.
But isn't the Bible also kind of horrifying?
But that's what I'm saying is that I think it also sort of normalizes the idea that humanity is a temporal form from the context of the vast history of the Bible. If we understand this to be true, that heaven and hell are real and that your soul is immortal in the kingdom of heaven, that your human form ultimately is just a tiny little blip in the map of life. Like you're just a little speck, a little chimney rock town in the vast map of the earth. And
Gabriel has been at his job too long. And you get the impression he's like, he feels underappreciated. He's kind of pissed. He's like, man, I got to do all the dirty work.
But he finally goes to grab Mary, but Mary had picked up the gun and she shoots him.
She does.
She's a better shot than Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
Outside, Catherine's got the gun, running Mary to the truck. And here comes Gabriel. Catherine fires like 4 shots that all miss wildly, except the last one hits this.
I don't think she's aiming at Gabriel at that point. I think she's
trying to blow up the thing.
Because she's like, shooting this guy doesn't do anything. Let's just blow up the fucking trailer.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, she does blow up the trailer. It is the Ford Pinto trailer edition.
Oh, yeah. Unsafe at any speed.
Even 0.
Unsafe parked.
So Jerry's dead. Thomas is a little woozy, but he's fine.
Yeah.
And it looks like Gabriel is dead. But when the cops are there tending to it, Thomas tells these cops, cuff him. And they're like, oh, he's dead. His vitals are gone. He's like, cuff him.
Yeah. And both Catherine, they're like, no, just do what the man said. And they're like, well, yeah, I guess so. I love this, like, Gabriel, he's got to build up his mana. Mm-hmm. He's got to like re-up his health bar.
Yep. Uh-huh.
So they load him into the cop car and he just like winks at Thomas like, hey, I'll be back. I can't right now because that fire got me good.
Yeah.
But I'll be back.
Little Mary tells Thomas, they're like, he's not dead. You have to rip out their hearts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that cop car has not left. I would have absolutely have run over there.
Yeah, you'd be like,
I would have been like, hey, give me this.
Hey, boys.
He's already dead. This isn't a crime.
Just go over there. Look at the view for a few minutes. Yeah. I gotta do a thing real quick.
Yep. But yeah, they're gonna down the highway a couple miles. They're gonna see that prowler totally destroyed. Those cops dead and Gabriel gone. Now we are at the ceremony. And this is kind of like this is very Alamo, right? Like it's a last stand sort of place. It is up on top of this giant mesa. It is at the edge of a cliff, so there's nowhere to go, but there's only one path up to it. So it's a lot of Catherine and Thomas standing guard. Look out. But Gabriel goes to the hospital ICU and he finds Rachel.
This is so unhinged when he's like, recovering, blech. Not what I need.
He's going through all these patients' charts, and they're all like, oh, he's doing fine, gross. Fuck you, fuck you. But Rachel is flatlining when he arrives. And he's like, snap, you're mine now.
I find this interesting because we meet Jerry and we're like, Jerry's kind of a douchebag. So, of course, he's a perfect sort of lackey, toady. But then this woman, she didn't kill her. Like, she wasn't a damn, wasn't killing her. So she just was dying. And she sort of sputters to life. And she spends most of her time just like crying.
Yeah. She just does
because
not
she's
want
seen
to do
the
this.
white light.
Yeah.
And she just
so bright.
It was so bright. I just wanted to go. And then Christopher Walken's like, God, I hate it when you cry. Why do you all have to cry so much when I do this? Just do what I say.
It's so silly and so sad and so funny.
And then the explanation of like why he needs these little assistants. Because he can't drive.
Amazing.
Okay.
You've had... Listen, I know cars are at this point barely not quite 100 years old in your thousands of years of life. So I get it. It's sort of like, yeah, I just never, by the time Snapchat came along, it's already like kind of
I just
almost come and gone, and I just never learned
I shouldn't sign up for it.
No.
I don't know. I kind of like the idea of like angels can't operate human machinery. You know, it kind of almost goes to the sort of the Jewish, like, you know, on the Sabbath, don't light your stove, don't turn on the, you know, like that sort of thing of like, no, angels are perpetually in that state. Yeah,
that makes sense. That's interesting.
But it just sounds so funny when you have Christopher Walken like berating Amanda Plummer.
It's this whole like diner scene where he goes to ask Madge at the diner where this old woman Butte is.
Specifically, could you tell me? And she's like, who the fuck are you? Why do you want to know? He's like, just tell me.
Yeah. Madge. And she does. She gives him specific directions, like it's the 90s before we go. Just Google Maps. It's really funny. But yeah, this just Amanda Plummer, this whole diner scene is hilarious. She is perfect. Well, not only did we get Amanda Plummer playing Rachel to perfection, we are now going to get Viggo Mortensen playing Lucifer.
This is the best shit. I love this so much. And this is kind of an interesting fun fact. So this movie had a lot of rewrites. Had a lot of script stuff going on. And Viggo Mortensen apparently was like so behind. Viggo Mortensen is like, y'all haven't even gotten to my shit. What if I just wrote some of this? So like his introduction as Lucifer, Viggo Mortensen wrote. Because he is an actual accomplished poet. Like he has a real career as a writer outside of being an actor as well.
That's really cool. That's really fascinating.
It's interesting. I love this. Why do I like Viggo Mortensen in this role so much? Because he plays against expectations of the sort of like, okay, think of, close your eyes, picture the devil. Does it look like Tim Curry in Legend? The sort of deep voiced, maleficent, like the wahaha. No, this guy is like, he pitches his voice up a little bit. So it's very smooth and very it's almost like a I don't know, like a Frank Sinatra kind of vibe to it. Seductive. He plays seductive, which isn't that Lucifer's job? Is to seduce people to the dark side?
He also looks like Jared Leto's cool older brother.
Yes.
Because he's got those like pools for eyes. He's got the slicked back hair. Viggo Mortensen hasn't done Lord of the Rings yet, where he's playing more like, or The Road, where he's playing more like.
No, he's not craggy.
He's not.
He's seen some shit.
He's still like really beautiful skin.
Yeah.
And
this isn't Eastern Promises.
No, no. And so he's so beautiful here, and but it's
the lightness.
Yeah.
It's the like. I don't know. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's also, he is just unfucking hinged.
Yeah, he's so good.
Which is, again, what's the scariest thing about Lucifer is this sort of agent of chaos. Mm-hmm. He's the original, like, fuck you, God.
Yeah.
I can do what you do.
And also, like, it's not quite about love and hate, good and evil. It is about...
God is love. I don't love you.
Yeah, I'm not about love. I'm not about any of that. But also, like, where did love get you? But I love his rationale, because what he is essentially telling them is it's essentially a cola war. It's a branding issue, because he's like, by turning heaven into a miserable state of hell, I do hell. That is a copyright infringement. What I need, I don't want you to be happy. I don't want you to be loved. I don't give a shit about what's happening, other than I want the war resolved. I want the angels that want a heaven with humans in it to win, because we're in balance here.
And also, it's sort of, is it stated or implied that no souls are going up to heaven until we resolve this stalemate?
Uh-huh.
But it's also sort of implied that no souls are getting down to hell. So he's like, I've been sitting down there waiting on cash on delivery.
Yeah.
Like, you've sent me invoices, but you're not sending me my paycheck.
So that's why he needs to unclog this backlog of souls, is really what he's interested in, which is why he's helping these humans out that are most invested in this, in Catherine and Thomas. All right. So Viggo Mortensen, incredible.
Tops.
Amanda Plummer, tops. But he hints at Thomas. He tells him, he's like, hey, what's the one thing essential to an angel, which is faith? And
I was going to say wings, but okay.
We'll go with faith. I mean, I was going to say that they are like super powered motherfuckers who are super violent.
Like flaming swords. No, is that not? No, I would say wings. Halos?
You have a trumpet that can end the world.
Yeah.
That seems cool. But he's going to go with faith.
Okay.
But he's like, Thomas, you should use that against them. You know, what if the faith was tested? I'm not quite sure how that ties in. I like this notion of feeding him this information, but what Thomas ultimately does when confronted with Gabriel is to be like, you're just a whiny child. You're just jealous. You're
just jealous of what I have inside me, because I cry and I can laugh and I can feel love, and you're really powerful. But how long has it been since God talked to you? Oh, he doesn't talk to you anymore? Oh. I know what that's like. I think that's what Satan is feeding him, Lucifer is feeding him, is this like, you're never going to beat Gabriel by force. You've got to do some emotional judo on him. You know, you've got to be like, yeah, you're super powerful, but aren't you just kind of like jealous of what I got over here?
Aren't you just a 13-year-old slamming his door going, you're not my real father?
Yeah. And like, listen, we're human, so that's our gig. We've got, we believe, we don't believe, we believe we go here, we don't believe we go there, but you're supposed to be like all-knowing, all-believing. Oh, you're not? Ooh, that's gotta suck for you. And you can see this is the tactic that gets under Gabriel's skin and throws him off balance. So that way Satan can come in and rip out his heart.
This final sequence, this action sequence, is so funny because Gabriel goes rushing up to the ceremony to try and get this girl.
And Thomas is like trying to delay him. He puts a chain across the thing.
Mm-hmm. Thomas gets in Catherine's pickup truck and goes racing up the hill, but Rachel is in the back. She crashes through the window, and he's got to kill her, but not before crashing through basically this tiny wooden shed crowded full of elders and a little girl and Gabriel, who's just putting his hands on Catherine's head to crush his skull.
Yeah.
Thomas drives a full-size pickup into this 8x10 wooden shed, hitting only Gabriel.
Just one person. Just the villain. Only the villain. Although Amanda Plummer does die. Rachel
Plummer
finally gets she gets released. You've been released. Thank you. Thank you for your work. But it does it, and then Detective Thomas is just like, I don't know, I'm just going to beat the fuck out of his head.
Yeah.
With this tire iron.
Yeah. Take the tire iron to the chest. Crack that heart out of there.
Yeah.
But it is Lucifer.
Oh.
That finally.
Not today, Satan. Well, actually, yes, today, Satan.
Yeah.
Today is the day, Satan.
Not today, Gabriel. And he rips out Gabe's heart. And he tells everyone else, carry on with the ceremony, by the way.
I just love the like, hey, you thought you're so slick? What you're doing is evil. That's my shit.
Copyright infringement.
Copyright infringement.
Yeah.
I get royalties for that.
Yeah.
You thought you're so original. I've been doing it longer than you. So come on. I'm going to take my Hellraiser gimp with me. We're just going to drag your body out.
I don't know that this movie earns every single beat, but I really love this rationale of Lucifer. It's so good. It's so good.
And then the like, okay, so his Hellraiser gimp drags Gabriel away. Ooh, we killed the bad guy. But I love this. It's like Lucifer is jacked up on the angel juice.
Yeah.
Again, we talk about the 90s, the addiction narrative of like, oh my God, I'm so pumped full of angel blood right now. You look great. Do you want to, hey, do you want to join, do you want to join hands with Satan? Today's the day, man.
I love you more than Jesus. You owe me one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he is coked out of his gourd.
Right? Again, Jared Leto coded.
Yep. All hopped up on goofballs.
And Detective Thomas is like, no, my faith has been restored. Get thee behind me, Satan. And Satan's like, okay, well, careful in the dark.
Yep.
I'll be seeing ya.
This is a fun attempt at a real hard-hitting line, but it just, some people drag better than others, but this is his line to Lucifer, and he said, I have my soul and I have my faith. What do you have, angel? And Lucifer's a little like, yeah, all right, well, have a good one, bud.
Yeah.
You didn't win this rap battle, but only because I'm not engaging in it.
That's right. Yeah. This wasn't, if I was, this would be a different story.
Yeah, yeah. And our final voiceover, it's blah, 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 faith. I think that's what makes us human.
Blah, 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 soul. The amount of times they say soul, like something about my soul, they really, like somebody underlined it in their script every single time. And they're like, no, we're going to really hit this word.
Yes.
This is just so people understand, this is what it is to be human. Could you just say it real hard every time you say it?
The end. Shall we rate this movie, Cecil?
Yes, let's.
All right, to start with, how approachable is this movie if you're horror movie squeamish? On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being it is not approachable at all, and 10 being very easily approachable, I would give The Prophecy like 7 out of 10 extra chapters of the Revelation. Like, it's really not scary at all. I think ultimately, it's just disturbing. And it's like biblical quest.
It's very violent.
It's very violent.
And it's also there are some not jump scares, but like action-y jump scares.
Yeah. It's more like noir action thriller, but I don't think it like does its horror beats quite like some other movies can be a little bit like even less violent and much scarier. But yeah, I didn't find this movie, but I guess if you consider like kind of this disturbing end of the world quality of these angel stories, unnerving, maybe that approachability is lower for you, but I think they really do. It is not a comedy. It's not Dogma. It's not zany.
What? You can stay awake all night. You can eat ice cream. Come with me, heaven. I'll remake Heaven.
But it is funny. It does have its funny beats, and so I think there's a lightheartedness enough to that. So I don't know. I think it's pretty approachable. 7 out of 10 for approachability. To speak nothing of approachability, how do you rate this as a horror film, Cecil?
I mean, it's action noir horror. There's horrific elements. I mean, like, clearly the bodies, like the angel body, that's pretty gross stuff. It's tense. It doesn't lean into the gore, though, that I think is like, even though it's supernatural in its themes, it doesn't lean into the horror element. But I don't know. I think it's kind of a fun 90s romp.
Yeah.
So for that, I give it 11 angel numbers.
Let's figure out what movie we are going to watch next. You've got a scare die. I've got a style die. We'll roll this up, see what movie fits those two things. On your scare die, Cecil, if you roll a 1, our next movie, Scare is Technology. 2, Vampire. 3, Ghosts. 4, Wild Card. 5, Psycho Killer. Or 6, Cursed.
That's a 3. I swear to God, I'm not doing this, Jeffrey. I
Well,
swear.
last week we had a week off from the 3s. So let's see here. Let us do Ghosts is our scare, and we're going to match that to the style I roll. If I roll a 1, our next movie's style is based on a true story. 2, it's a 5+ word title, so long title. 3, it's from the 1990s. 4, it is en español. 5, it is a bottle movie. Or 6, a horror comedy with ghosts. All right, let's roll this up and see what we got here. I also got a 3. That is the 1990s.
Oh, we're
Ghost
keeping it in the 90s.
From the 90s. Okay, that's interesting. We wrote down a few, and we also have a Letterboxd account. We are at Random Horror 9 on Letterboxd, and you can look at, we have lists for every single die roll possibility that week, and you can add 2 movies we might have missed in your comments. But here's what we rolled for ghost movies from the 1990s. This is what we wrote down. There's, of course, Ghost, Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore. I don't know that this is horror, but it is horror adjacent. It's upsetting.
Sure.
But it's a modern gothic romance.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
It's called Ghost. Of
It's
course
called
it's a ghost.
And it's from like 1990 on the button, I think. So there you go. Then we have The Frighteners.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is a horror comedy classic that we haven't gotten to. This is Peter Jackson.
Yeah, Peter Jackson,
Michael J.
Fox. Yeah, absolutely.
A couple that you wrote down here, Cecil. The Crow.
I was like, he's kind of a ghost, right? Is he a ghost? Is he cursed?
I've never seen.
That's a question mark.
I've never seen The Crow.
He's less a ghost than he is like, I've been brought back to avenge my girlfriend's death. So I put a question mark next to it. Probably fits better under cursed than ghost.
Okay.
But, just wanted to throw that one out there.
Interesting. Casper.
I was like, that's a ghost from the 90s.
That is. It's a Christina Ricci vehicle, I believe.
I've never seen this.
I never have either.
But I'm like, I don't know, for our PG scares, might be,
If we're going for our, like, kids animated sort of thing. Listen, we did Secret of Nim for this show. That's a disturbing fucking movie.
Yeah.
And then finally, Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
I find this movie really interesting. Is this the 90s? Oh, God. I didn't even look at the date. I'm pretty sure I did. But yeah, I like this one because it is very, when it's super meta. Like, we're at the height of Wes Craven meta horror movie filmmaking in that Heather Langenkamp plays Heather Langenkamp, star of Nightmare on Elm Street. Wes Craven plays Wes Craven, the director of
Yeah.
And Freddy Krueger comes back in a more ghostly form rather than the sort of more demonic, although he's always kind of a ghost, right? He's just a ghost that lives in people's dreams.
Kind of, yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was and also very 90s, very Wes Craven. Mm-hmm. The special effects are pretty cool in this one too.
Well, let's see what people have to say on our Letterboxd.
Monstrum recommends Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Mm-hmm. After calling it quits, Mystery Inc. gets back together for one more gig on a mysterious Cajun island. Hijinks and killer beats around this animated adventure. I've heard this is a really fun, again, fun PG horror, a fun PG scare.
Yep.
And it's like, the whole thing of like Scooby-Doo. It's always like, oh no, the ghost was old Mr. Ricketts. Nope, in this one, they're actually zombies.
Oh, nice.
Call Me Ishmael 31. Or no, excuse me. Call Me Ishma 3. Recommends Skeleton Key, which is Kate Hudson. This is very like, Southern voodoo priest souls flying around kind of thing.
Hospice nurse working at a spooky New Orleans plantation home.
Yep.
That sounds ghosty.
Cronenberg TA recommends Ghost Watch.
Oh, yes.
The, quote, live broadcast on Halloween night. A BBC team investigate a reported poltergeist in an ordinary London home. I've never seen this.
I haven't either, and this comes up a lot. My eyes lit up when I saw this suggestion. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Good work, Cronenberg TA. King and Commodore recommends Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, 1999. The gang is invited by a horror novelist to come to town, which is being harassed by the novelist's ancestor, who is hung as a witch. This sounds a little more ghosty than Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Yes. Which sounds like a zombie, but yeah, love it. Okay, half-price horror, also Freddy Krueger as a ghost, New Nightmare. Fifth Hammer recommends a movie called Silent Tongue, 1993. Never heard of this. Mad with grief after the death of his Kiowa wife, Ro awaits death under a tree with her body beside him. She begins to haunt him because he won't bury her. His father, who bought him the wife, thinks her sister might be reason with Ro. A Sam Shepard film starring River Phoenix and Richard Harris.
And Bill Irwin is in this movie as well.
How is this movie? What is this movie? I have never heard of this.
It was not.
These are some deep cuts.
It was not well received.
Because, I thought I knew the River Phoenix oeuvre.
Yeah. But it is written and directed by Sam Shepard, and he is a playwright I really have always enjoyed. He's real hit or miss.
He's a crazy son of a bitch, though.
He was a crazy son of a bitch. But yeah, Dermot Mulroney?
What?
For fuck's sake.
Wild.
Okay.
To me, there's really two contenders on here. Skeleton Key, or no, excuse me, no, take that back, because I don't think Skeleton Key is really a ghost movie. If you watch the movie, you'll understand why. The Frighteners and Ghost Watch.
Yeah, I think those are our two.
And honestly, out of the two of them, I think I'd rather watch Ghost Watch.
I think I would too. This movie comes up so much, and I think it's a little bit of a blind spot here in America. I think the UK folks, this is a much more of a thing where a lot more people have seen this.
I think it's in
the UK.
It's a similar experience to the Orson Welles War of the Worlds. Maybe not that.
Yeah, not that
far,
crazy. Yeah.
But people were like, oh my God, is this real?
Yeah.
Wait, it's on BBC.
Because they used real newscasters in casting it too, right? Didn't they use real news anchors?
And I think the interesting thing is the Frighteners. I saw the Frighteners in the dollar movie theater back when we used to do dollar movies. And I remember being like, wow, the special effects are so fun, but it is a crazy plot. Okay. Like it is horror dark comedy. So it's like, do you want all the special effects or do you want the most British subtle? And honestly, after The Prophecy, I think I could do with a subtle rather than an over the top.
Too. I think I'm really, really interested in Ghost Watch. Yeah, I think we should do that.
Let's do it.
That was so easy. Thank you, Cronenberg TA, for that suggestion. And thank you all for listening. Thank you, Cecil, for talking with me. If you all have thoughts on The Prophecy or ideas for other movies that would have been good ghost horror films from the 1990s, let us know. We're at Random Horror 9 on Blue Sky, Instagram, and Patreon. And those Patreon public discussion threads are open to free members, so you don't have to pay to participate. So watch Ghost Watch 1992 with us this week, and come on back next Tuesday for a new episode. Have a restful night with no big corporations closing your copper mines or nothing. Boo.
Boo.
Random Number Generator Horror Podcast number 9 is hosted by me, Jeffrey Craner, and Cecil Baldwin. Find more of our work on the podcast Welcome to Night Vale. This show is produced by Night Vale Presents. It is edited by me, with music by Cecil and logo by David Baldwin. See original artwork for each episode by David on Instagram. Join us for live streams on Patreon. Watch our recording sessions on YouTube. Chat with us on Blue Sky and Contribute to our movie selection process on Letterboxd. We're in all of those places at Random Horror 9. Today's scary story. The angel comes to you and says, "You are the chosen." Wow, you say. Thanks. Oh wait, the angel says. I thought you were someone else. My bad.